we even looked.
It's that really big red button.
We went back and tested the sound and level, and here we are.
I suppose there's only one place for us to start, isn't there, Igor? Do you want to tell everybody what's happened?
Sam forgot to press record.
you took on the responsibility this week. I even made a point at the start of the recording to say,
yes, you did. Yes,
God,
you
Igor,
did.
I've let you press record and everything. But what did you not do, Igor?
Press record.
Press record.
I never press record.
So yeah. Oh, it's just one of those things, isn't it? These things happen, and you just have to roll with it.
And
so we lost 20 minutes of recording. It was a great 20 minutes.
It was.
I'd probably say it's some of the best content we've ever created.
And it'll never be seen again.
And it's never going to be anywhere because we didn't have the audio.
No.
So anyway, lesson learned.
Let's just go again. And I think we should say, in some ways, in terms of like a little different setup we have.
We do, yeah. Let's paint the picture. So what's changed?
So yeah, it's a lot more minimal in terms of like the equipment they're using. It's a lot better.
Yeah, we spent some more money, didn't we?
Yeah. Again.
You know, God, these podcasts don't come cheap, do they? But we spec'd our kit up a bit, didn't we? Because we would get to 25 minutes and we'd have to break, let the cameras cool down because Canon decided not to let the R6s manage their heat control. So we've bought some screens that sit on top of the camera that just basically take that away, and also just mean that we can run, unlimited times.
It's a lot smoother.
We may lose the visuals in a little bit, but if they do, then we
know why.
We've got a cable. We've got a better cable. It's down to a cable, isn't it? Is that what it is?
we don't need to waffle. Details.
Let's get on with it. Anyway, right. So, welcome back to another idea.
Yeah. Shall we recap on the last two episodes?
Let's do that. So we've had Tom and Studio number 74.
Yeah. And yeah, they were great episodes. It was amazing to have Tom in the house. I felt like a kid in a candy shop with my two BFFs on each side.
We were very excited to put Tom's episode out there because we had both of the episodes really, but Tom's just got a really good demeanour about him, hasn't he?
Yeah.
A lovely tone to his voice, very eloquent, but just speaks really good sense.
Yeah. Communicates so clearly and in a really positive way as well.
Yeah, very much so.
Constantly on a way to. You see that he cares. He wants to elevate whoever is listening.
Yeah. No, good things coming for Tom. I can feel it.
Yeah,
I can definitely feel it.
Tom Wright, keep an eye on him.
And then we had Rachel and Darius.
Who
went out on Monday and just really enjoyed like their story. And I still can't quite believe they've only been going 8 months.
8 months since January.
But their work's incredibly polished. Just hearing about how they work as a couple, I think, was quite interesting.
Yeah. Good dynamic, isn't it?
Really
quite
good.
fun.
Yeah, really good.
And they brought the banter.
I think for a lot of people that are self-employed, it's kind of, it can be a little bit lonely. So having your partner on board, I think, can often be, just gives you that, that companionship that you need sometimes on a day-to-day basis. To kind of
cheeky question.
Yeah, no, it was good, really good. Really enjoyed it. The one big takeaway.
Hold on, cheeky question.
Oh, what are you doing? Yeah, go on then. Yeah. Sorry.
You again.
I was in the zone, I was, mate. I'm trying to recover the last 20 minutes of my life that I've lost.
It's all good.
Okay, come on.
Would you ever work with Gemma?
No chance. No, I love her to bits. Absolutely love her to bits. But no, we wouldn't be very good working together.
Yeah.
Not big. I'm not very good at taking orders.
Okay. Yeah. Same.
It's definitely definitely one of my flaws.
Yeah. Hence why you're the boss.
Yeah.
At least if you know what I mean.
No. Do you know what? As well, people have asked me that before. Actually, I wouldn't want to work with her because actually I want that separation a little bit.
Yes.
I want to be able to go home and just to be able to leave this behind. That would be my only downside to working with my partner, would be that you've got that other tie to work, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it's a no for me. What about you and Zai?
I think so, but at the same time, I think so, yes, for the freedom that it would bring to us in terms of like, we could work from anywhere.
Yeah.
But obviously with the girls and everything else, we can't work from anywhere. It doesn't work like that. But in terms of as a team, I reckon it could work. It would be a lot of work in terms of like kind of like implementing.
Boundaries for me. I'd need. I think for both of us, I think we both need a bit of space.
Yeah.
But I've said to Gemma before about like, I'd love to. Why don't we just do like a a sportswear fashion brand, because that's Gemma's background is fashion buying, and I'm like, look at the skill set we've got. We could do. She's like, are you mad? I'm like, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
I could see that happen. I could see that happen.
So
one day.
yeah. Where was I before you interrupted me with that question? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Just the lesson that we've taken from it, and we're like, we've said this before. We are all about just being open and transparent about everything that we do, and just passing on any little bit of experience or lessons that we picked up along the way. And one of the big things that we've talked about recently off camera is that actually we almost fell into a bit of a trap at the start, didn't we, of thinking we need so and so on here that's got like 500,000 followers, we need these people because they've got a big marketing.
We had a mood board and big names in there.
I know why we did it. We, because people like that do carry marketing, like big marketing reach for us.
Bring numbers with them and increases our audience and visibility in some ways.
But actually, what we've realised over the last 2 or 3 months of recording is that it doesn't really mean shit. It's about the conversation and the quality of the conversation. And there've been people on here that haven't got those followers. No disrespect to them whatsoever. That are at the early stages of their business that have just brought a huge amount of value to the table. So
much.
And we're going to talk about, today's episode is about businesses and creatives and people that are inspiring us on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And kind of a bit of a cheesy one here is that actually I've been inspired as much by the people that we've had on the podcast in the last 4 months as I have some of the people and the names we've written down here.
Yeah, and you've implemented stuff from it, really.
We had Courtney start last week as an apprentice, and she's here as a direct impact of having a conversation with Ben about knife making.
Yeah, which is...
we've got Merla here.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are other probably smaller, less noticeable influences that have happened over the past 4 months that have probably been implemented and changed in my business, but they're the really obvious ones.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've taken stuff away from each episode and conversation just goes to show how important it is that we're doing this and we're enjoying it and we're learning from it. So that's that. What else do we have to cover off? What other stuff do we talk about, Igor, in that 20 minutes that was gold?
As this episode is dropping, we've got our Christmas party coming up.
Have you got your outfit ready?
Yeah, I'm bringing my Black Santa outfit.
Yes.
And
so excited.
Am I allowed to bring some confetti as well?
No. No confetti. We'll get onto that in a minute, though.
As we are speaking, tickets have dropped for the Christmas party, and you have to be on a mailing list to access them, and they'll be through our mailing list for the next 24 hours.
Yeah, it depends when you're listening to it. As this episode drops at 6 a.m. on a Monday morning, the mailing list people have got 24 hours early access and a discount code to those tickets. And there's only 15 tickets.
That's it.
So if you're listening on Tuesday, I'm sorry, there's a strong chance that you might go to the website but what's the lesson, Igor?
Get on the mailing list.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. I mean, all you have to do is... What do you have to do, Igor? You tell us.
Just get on the mailing list.
Just go to the website, fill in your email address, and then you get notified of these things.
Another-idea.co. And
I suppose the whole point of the Christmas episode and the recording was that we had the live episode here a few weeks ago, didn't we? And we were both really... We didn't know how it was going to go. And I'd say it was a pretty big hit.
It was.
People were buzzing and inspired and took so much from it.
Yeah.
And we just wanted to do it again. So we decided we're going to try and just every few months maybe just do a ticketed audience episode.
Yeah.
So we're going to announce those speakers later this week. They'll have already been announced by the time this episode goes out, so I'll shut up.
But no, we can't wait to meet you guys that are going to be here with us for the Christmas party. And as usual, we'll have Q&As.
Yeah,
do photo shoots.
Might do some headshots for everybody.
Yeah.
They'll be allowed to ask whatever they want. They'll be able to get involved in the episode and ask questions of the guests.
Yeah, and just rub shoulders with other creatives and the guests themselves, really. And it's those conversations in between that
it's the conversations around the pizza box, isn't it? that just get you going.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
You might come up with an idea for your business or a way of elevating your business or just something crazy.
You might just have a good time. You might just have a good time. Just have a day. Have a day out of the office.
The good times are pretty much guaranteed.
But if you do miss out on that Christmas party, we've got something else coming up on the horizon, haven't we, Igor?
The AGM.
Got the AGM. You weren't sure about the AGM, were you?
I know.
It's another general meeting.
I didn't quite get it with the whole, what? An annual gathering meeting? Are we really going to call it that? But then, no, it's another.
It's another general meeting. Yeah. We're not mocking the corporate world. But we just wanted to put something on that, I don't know, kind of
brings an experience to people.
Yeah, experience I think is a really big word.
Entertainment whilst providing a great sense of educational value for people. People are going to come out, people are going to come out from that feeling really inspired, but at the same time feeling like their brains hurt because the amount of information that they've taken is incredible, and at the same time from completely different industries that they perhaps would not expect to actually receive that creative input. Really,
and we're in negotiations, aren't we, with the venue at the minute. We are partway through conversations with the speakers that we want to be at the AGM, and we kind of see it as though we're kind of curating that conversation, aren't we? We want to take what we do here on a weekly basis with the podcast and put it into an event and an experience that has that conversation with the people that we think are going to inspire our audience members.
Yeah, but really well presented and
and I think people will get a bit of a vibe from today's conversation because we're going to be talking about other people and other businesses that are inspiring us and why they inspire us. I'm really excited. So hopefully in the next month or so that will start ramping up in terms of
you start seeing more on socials
activity. Is that everything covered off, Igor, before we get into the episode?
Yeah, I think let's just dive in.
How was your holiday? That's what I didn't ask you. Do you know what? Sometimes everything happens for a reason. Maybe that is why we had to re-record this section. I didn't ask you how your holiday was.
Holiday with the girls was amazing. Yeah, it was really good. We went to Center Parcs for a week. And
did you go to one really close to you, or did you have to go to one really far away because then it felt like you were going on holiday?
It was only it was only an hour and a half or so away, really. So it was good amount of time. It's a good distance, and the girls just absolutely love it. Ava's 4. And she's at that sort of point where she actually understands that she's going on a holiday. And literally this morning I was driving her to nursery and she was asking, Daddy, when am I going on a holiday again? Well, it'll probably be next year.
Got Christmas to come first though.
But no, it was great. The girls absolutely loved it. Even Zara, she's barely 1, and she just enjoyed spending time with all of us together. That's what we really took away from it. Just spending a good family time. And
Do you feel recharged and ready to go?
No. It was
very
much a family holiday.
Do you want to come to Ibiza with me next week?
Well, I'm in Marrakesh next week with
Zai. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't tell me that.
So
kept that one quiet.
Yeah, I didn't want you
to tell me, did you?
Feel cheated. But no, got a wedding and mixing it with a couple of days holiday, and that'll be really nice to.
It's a nice perk of the job, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
We're doing the same. We're going Tuesday to Sunday to Ibiza.
Nice,
without the kids. Cheeky. Anyway, Igor, who are we?
We are Another Idea, a podcast for creatives and entrepreneurs, and we're here to just level up your business and make you see things from a different perspective.
Amen to that.
So let's go.
What do people need to do before they do that, though?
Please share, subscribe, wherever you're listening from, and
Do you want to thank people for sharing recently? Because you had a bit of a dig on the last couple of episodes,
didn't I?
You threw your toys out the pram. But it paid off because people really we've really noticed that people have really ramped up the shares, and it's been so appreciated.
We're really, really appreciative of it, and it was actually quite funny. I remember seeing one Instagram share something on the lines of "the boys made me do it." So thank you. Thank you so much. And please do share and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, because those are the things that will really allow us to grow. And
because it's free for you guys, isn't it? It's free. You don't pay for any of this. You just tune in on Spotify or Apple, or you watch it on YouTube, and we're here spending more bloody money on kit that we don't need and doesn't
Do not
work
worry,
properly.
people. Do not worry,
But
people.
we are recording.
He is
We are
not
recording
bitter.
at the minute. Right, come on, let's get on with today's episode then. Let's go.
So yeah, 10 people that are impacting the creative market.
Yes. And us.
And us.
Really?
Yeah. It's very much us. So yeah, let's
Yeah.
go for the...
Some people you'll know.
Yeah.
Some people you might not. Some
Some
people you might be
people will
surprised
definitely
by.
not know. Yep.
But yeah, we'd actively encourage you to check them all out if you don't follow them, and to, you know, if you want to if you do want to share anything, give them a shout out.
Yes.
But let's just kick it off with should we kick off with what we would say are the big guns?
The big guns, yes,
Yeah.
indeed. So the first two that we have are Gary Vaynerchuk, and Stephen Bartlett.
Yeah, and I think if you don't know who those guys are, where have you been in the last 5 years?
Just go and turn us off.
Yeah.
we give you permission.
Yeah.
Go do some research and then come back.
Yeah. There's this thing called Instagram, and you can go on it
and YouTube
and check them out. But yeah, let's talk about Stephen first. 'Cause I think it's fair to say that I think Stephen's probably been a very big influence on us and where this podcast is and why we're here.
Yeah.
For a few reasons. And I think the thing that strikes me with Stephen mostly is that podcasts were doing, you know, they were motoring along quite well until he came along, and then
especially in the UK scene.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody huge, but he just came along and just blew everything out of the water.
Yeah,
raised the bar, raised the standard
from a production level, just right up there from
and
the
it just made
get-go.
everyone else go, oh right, yeah, okay, that's what I need to do.
Yeah,
you know, and it's driven the standard up. Everybody else is kind of going, okay, right, this is the expectation now. This is the minimum entry level. If I'm going to deliver on it, I've got to do it. And for us, it was kind of like, okay, well, if we're going to do it and we're going to want to have those conversations with people in our industry and creatives, then that's where we need to be aiming at. Yeah. Straight off the bat. And so here we are.
Yeah. No, I love Stephen. I absolutely love him. In terms of an interviewer, he's great.
Yeah,
it's very much like going to a psychologist, isn't it? He's going to sit you down and, right, Sam, tell me about your feelings.
He seems to ask those questions that you're like, oh yeah,
he digs.
That's spot on.
He really digs deep, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that. And
I think his delivery is excellent as well. I've definitely noticed that more because of what we're doing here, of just how effortless and clean his questioning is. And it's made, I don't know about you, but it's definitely made me kind of go, how can I get better at that when we've got somebody here? Yeah. How do we, like, I'll listen back to episodes and I'll kind of critique myself and go, oh, I stuttered a bit there. Why am I doing that? And it's just trying to, it's just very...
It's a skill, isn't it?
It is a real skill. A real skill.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really, really good. And another thing that I've noticed recently is that the conversations that he's had with...
You look great on that screen, Igor.
It does look good, doesn't it? Yeah.
People should go and look at YouTube, shouldn't they? If they're not watching it on YouTube.
Yeah, just go and do it.
Sorry, Igor.
The recent guests that he's had have actually been quite refreshing as well. All mainly female guests, and the conversations have been quite raw, quite emotional, just really hitting topics and issues that you usually don't hear on many podcasts.
Particularly topics that guys don't talk about enough.
Exactly.
He's obviously got, I'm sure he has a very diverse audience, but for guys listening to it, it will just make a lot of people go, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I really enjoy that. It just feels refreshing, really. So Stephen, keep doing what you're doing. We love you.
No, absolutely deserving of being on this list. Yeah. We'll put his award in the post, shall we? We'll just jot out a little piece of like a little trophy on a sheet of paper and stick it in the post. There you go, Stephen. We put you on our top 10 list.
Yeah, we love you.
He can stick that on his wall behind his recording cameras, can't he? And the next one, just a little guy in America.
Yeah, just some random. Where does Gary Vaynerchuk comes from? Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. But yeah, some Eastern European country, I know for sure. But yeah, Gary
V. Whirlwind.
Yeah, it's just his attitude towards business, and just towards his way of doing personal branding as well. Yeah, he is a CEO, but he also has his personal branding with Gary V, and he just does it so well in a really positive, empowering way. And yes, he is the epitome of not everybody needs to like me, but if you do, here is what I give, and I do it well.
He just speaks so much sense, and it's hard to imagine having a viewpoint that differed, like you would argue against what he says from a business approach. And I just love that kind of we've talked about education before on this podcast about, our frustrations with it. But it's just his approach to, if you're in your 20s, you've just got to get out there and just experience as much as you can experience. Oh, that's one of my big takeaways from seeing Gary Vee over the years. But every time he pops up on my feed, I'll watch a video and I'm like, oh, yeah, no, spot on. Yeah. Just a really good piece of content to be consuming. I've got a lot of time for Gary Vee.
Yeah, he's good like that. And I think as well, from a marketing point of view, if you really, really look closely at the stuff that he says, it's constantly the same thing, but in different ways, in different formats, in different platforms.
Yeah.
But he's rather consistent in what he says. So
I think that applies to both of those. Well, Gary and Stephen.
Yeah.
It's the power of consistency, isn't it? Did we talk about the graph of Stephen
we didn't.
on this recording, or did we talk about the previous one that
previous
won't
one?
air?
Yeah.
Just that 2 years of flatlining chart, and then all of a sudden over the space of 3 or 4 months, it just kind of goes on a vertical because he turned up every single week.
Yeah, that's it.
We're 4 months in and wanting big results. We're like, no, we've just got to sit tight, keep doing what we're doing,
exactly.
keep producing
But
the content.
It's encouraging because you guys, the audience, you just keep showing up, and the numbers are growing, and we can see the trajectory really. So thank you.
Yeah. So they're the big hitters.
Yeah.
And then, not to say that these other people aren't big hitters. There are some big names.
Yes, they are.
The next one is one entry, but it's two people. It's Colin and Samir, who I know you're described as, I would say, a super fan. Aren't you?
Yeah,
aren't you, Igor?
I'm self-admittedly, I would definitely say that.
You've sent me a few videos of Colin and Samir, and I've always watched them and been like, no, these are really good. And I think the biggest thing that strikes me about those guys is just the likability factor. I always feel like I'm just having a really nice chat and a conversation with some mates.
Yeah.
You kind of describe it as being in the pub with them, don't you? I think.
Yeah, very much like that. They're these two YouTubers and creative content creators that very much started on covering lacrosse games and just the lacrosse world in general, really, and just doing commentary on it, and then moved into the YouTube world and very much doing the same thing, but for content creators, really. So they just cover and break down content creators all over the world and interview them, but in a really well-researched manner, and it's just great to see, really.
Yeah.
They've been going for 10 years, and only last month or last week or so, they hit 1 million. And you would think that the way they present and do things, that they would have hit that ages ago.
Yeah. So we've got to wait 10 years. I don't know if I can do that, Igor.
Man, we got a lot of work to do.
I think, it is. It's just that, it's that conversational approach to the content. They're obviously very aware and switched on and savvy with what with their messaging. Yeah. But at the same time, it's not heavily scripted or salesy, or it feels just genuine and honest. And I think that was, again, maybe kind of similar to Stephen in that when we started this podcast, that was something that we really wanted to achieve, was that kind of informal discussion that still brings value. Yeah. So that
relatability, really.
And, very much so.
And something that really gets me excited about the AGM, really, seeing these two guys, is the fact that I know that we will be able to, inspired by them, at least for my part, inspired by them, I know that we'll be able to provide a real experience at the AGM, like well-researched, well thought out. Great visuals. Yeah, people are going to come out from that just absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, it's going to be sure. It's going to be just way more than, like, I suppose. In a nutshell, it's kind of like a conference, but I'm very aware of how damaging the word conference can be. It's a gathering of people, but just with something that I don't want to give too much away, do we? Yeah. We want people to just have an open mind.
Yeah, that's it. Because we'll still be talking about it,
and there's still a lot of work that we've got to get through to get it off the ground. Yeah, but that's it. We're very excited by that. Yeah. So Colin and Samir. You're right, Igor.
Are we in focus there?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, you look great.
Good.
It's all recording. The red boxes around the screen.
The fear is there.
Yeah, you've definitely put the fear in me. I had to have 5 minutes, didn't I? I had to step out of the office. But anyway, it's all part and parcel of just doing what we're doing, though, isn't it?
That's it.
We've made changes today, and actually, when you think about it, often when you make those changes, that's often when the
mistakes happen and lessons are learned.
Yeah, and you learn from it. We've done that before. I'm sure we'll do it again.
That's it.
We move on, don't we? I'll forgive you, so it's fine. Okay, curveball time. Curveball. So that's 3 names.
Yeah.
Fourth one is a name that I don't think many people would expect us to be saying is creatively inspiring us at the moment, but we're just going to go there.
Yeah.
Munya Achawawa.
Chihuahua. Munya's incredible.
Absolutely, just breathtakingly brilliant. For me.
He's a comedian from the UK, and the way he presents things, it's just so clever.
Yeah,
so clever.
He faces topics and conversations that as a nation we're all feeling and thinking
exactly,
but just does it in such a way that just can't help make you feel like just I don't know, like a comedian does, kind of like
you
laughing,
relate to
laughing inside.
Yeah, you're very much like, you look at the content and you're very much like,
not laughing
that's
inside,
true.
just laughing, like just generally howling at my desk when I'm watching one of his reels or videos.
Yeah, and I think that's what we really like about him, the fact that he presents what he knows, his content, in a unashamedly way.
Yeah,
and it's just so encouraging to see. And I think that, at least for me personally, I can be very much in my own head, and I still am. Even before we kind of like started setting up, I was just adjusting the TV behind us just to make sure that it was lined up and everything else. That sort of like sense of things got to be perfect and everything else. No,
it
just
doesn't.
And
again, that's part of the reason why he's on the list. Is actually when you break down what he does, it's incredibly creative.
Yeah,
there's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah,
it's not just a video that he just throws together. There'll be a lot of thought process behind it. How it all, what's the messaging? How's what points do you want to get across? How's he going to film it? Where is he going to film it?
That's it.
But
at the same time, I think that the creative element that he brings as well is the rawness that he could literally do that anywhere. He could literally do that in a hotel room, and it would kick butt. Still,
just good energy.
Yeah,
great energy. And
if you haven't seen his stuff, Munya Chihuahua, he's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll put a post out with everybody's Insta handles on, won't we? But absolutely, just brilliant. Love the guy. Do you want to bring the next one in?
And the next one is Eric. I can see that.
Yeah, Eric Floberg.
Eric is incredible. He's a Chicago-based videographer, photographer, and I just loved seeing his journey over the past few years of being a videographer, then photographer, and really honing that space within the wedding world.
Yeah. But
then becoming an educator and really, really owning that space.
Yeah.
And just doing things differently. At the moment, he's doing a documentary, and I think we've said this before. We kind of like see him sort of like 2-3 perhaps years ahead of what we're doing. Yes, we're very different.
Do a documentary?
Yeah, he's doing a documentary now.
No, are we going to do a documentary?
Yes, we are.
Amazing,
Sam.
Yeah, another documentary.
Another documentary.
I think it wouldn't be a list of 10 people that are inspiring us without putting somebody in there that's kind of in a similar kind of industry and vein to where we're trying to position ourselves. And I think we've both said it a few times. Like, it feels like he's 2 or 3 years ahead of where we are, but we're on our own journey. We're doing our own thing, aren't we?
We're getting it.
And
but just inspiring to see, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. A really high production level.
Yeah.
Which I think is something that we've always tried to kind of match in that sense.
Yeah, and again, the relatability that he brings, it's there. It comes across as a really like down to earth, quite humble guy.
Yeah.
Very family orientated, but at the same time, a creative at heart.
Yeah, I feel like I could take the kids down the park with him. Have a chat on the side side of the playground, and just be like, "How's your week been, mate?" Yeah, and just again, I suppose like all of these people so far, just a real likability factor. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's anything else you want to cover off about Eric.
No, I think that's it really. No, go and check him out. In terms of like his education game is really strong, so go and check that out as well.
Yeah, like just diversifying things as well all the time.
Yeah,
like you say, doing a documentary, he's done a podcast. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, wedding photography, education. Yeah. Just goes to show that you shouldn't have all your eggs in one basket.
That's
it.
You
should
be. In terms of diversifying.
It's not just about. This is going off on a little bit of a tangent, but that's what we're about here, right?
Yeah.
It's not always about just going and trying new things so that you can diversify income streams. Mm-hmm. It's just about the experience and the lessons that you pick up from those those challenges, isn't it? Really,
yes, very much so.
You know, and they all feed into. Now that screen's gone, Igor. So what we'll do, we'll take a little ad break, and then we'll come back once we've figured out why the new screen that we've just bought is powered down.
Well, we know why. It's
the cable.
Because of the cable.
Anyway, so we'll see you in a bit. So, Igor.
Studio Ninja.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about our sponsor. And I was wondering about what we need to say in this little section, because I really want to talk about just how vital it is to my business. And one thing that came up recently was, in my own business, was that I was thinking about whether I need to get a VA on board. Mm-hmm. Like, do I need somebody that's going to help me just, perform some of the admin tasks? And when I looked at it, and it really boiled down to what do I need somebody on board for, I realised that I don't actually do much admin.
Yeah.
And I don't do much admin purely because of Studio Ninja.
Yeah.
Everything's automated. Yeah, my invoices, my diary, my questionnaires that I send out.
Email templates.
Chasing up invoices. Everything's fully automated to the point where it doesn't take a huge amount of my time anyway. So it kind of defeats the whole point of a VA. So for me, it is a very integral part of my business. Yeah. And I think when you're running a business, you're self-employed like we are, being efficient, being productive, making sure that things run in the right order. If you find yourself doing any kind of repeat task, you have to say to yourself, why am I repeating this?
Automate it.
And if you can automate it, then that's it. And that's really where Studio Ninja fits in with me and my business. And they have very kindly given us a discount code, haven't they, for this podcast? So what's that discount code, Igor?
Another idea.
And another idea gets you 50% off your first annual subscription.
Yeah.
So it's just a no-brainer. I mean, I wouldn't even be hanging around. Just go and look at Studio Ninja.
Just go and do it right now.
But thank you very much, guys, for sponsoring this podcast. We love you. We appreciate you. Keep it up.
We love Studio Ninja. Perfect.
I'm ready for some lunch, I am.
Yeah. I got you.
What did I get? The salt beef bagel.
Yes.
Oh, yes. God, I love the salt beef bagel. We're back, guys. So short interlude there whilst we just reset the new monitor that we've got. That won't happen again, hopefully, once the new cables arrive this afternoon from Amazonia. Let's crack on with our list, shall we?
Yes.
Number 6. Something that I've not heard of before, and you're going to bring her up.
Yeah, you had a very similar.
Can I just say how much fun I've just had as well, doing our little stories? Obviously, this is going out next Monday, but we just really got in the spirit, didn't we?
All in the Christmas spirit.
Just promoting the Christmas episode.
Yes.
Listen to Slade. So yeah, if you've seen our stories last week, you will have. I'm hoping you appreciated that.
Yeah.
But right, Manaris, back on with it.
Yes. So the next artist or creative,
her work is breathtakingly good.
Absolutely beautiful. And what she does, she is best way of describing it is a street filmmaker.
Hold on. Focus. There we go. It's all right.
Street filmmaker that captures New York in a really beautiful way. Are you trying to?
Are we in focus?
I had this.
It's hard to say.
There we go.
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. We'll find out in a bit. It's already one of those days, isn't it?
That's
I feel like just things are, getting thrown at us here that aren't quite working out, but we're fine. We're rolling with it.
Back to Manaris.
It just makes it real,
Yeah, that's it.
Manaris.
She's.
Where's she based?
She's based in the US. I'm pretty sure she's from Venezuela, but she's based in the US, and she captures New York in such a beautiful way. And yeah, the best way I'd describe it is a street filmmaker. So she takes quite still videos of happenings within New York, quite static, but New York is New York. There's always a lot of movement. And she also takes a lot of screen grabs from the videos that she does. And if you go to her feed, Manaris, MONARIS, _ you'll just get the visual language is just so clear. It's just so beautiful and so cinematic in some ways. Yeah. That's what I really, really like about it.
My question to you then, and I can see a word's breathtaking, but it comes back to this question that we asked at the very beginning, which is, what is inspiring, and how is following her directly impacting you and your kind of creative process?
Literally, as soon as I saw her work, I sent it to Tom, and I was like, I need to make this happen for weddings. How can I make this happen for weddings? So for me, the straight inspiration was very much, how can I capture stills at weddings, and still perhaps, no, it's not stills, videos at weddings, and perhaps bring that into my work. But I wouldn't do that straight away at a wedding. I would have to in fact, where did we do it? Was it, I think it was Birmingham. Was it Birmingham or Manchester? Manchester, that's it. We were meeting up in Manchester, and I wanted to sort of like do something similar to this.
Yeah.
And I realized how hard it is.
Yeah. I mean, she makes it look, again, it's effortless, isn't it? But,
it's absolutely effortless.
Wow. Just some of these frames here.
Yeah,
just
really well thought out. But yeah, it's literally straight away I realized how hard it is.
I'm just going to, let me just operate your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
But
great tones, great colours.
Exactly. And then the framing, it's just thought out. Yeah, stuff like that.
Amazing.
Where you got the triptychs, like 3 images within one scene.
Yeah.
Straight away, I just felt so inspired to create work that's similar to that. Obviously, I would create
there's
my
a real
own
skill,
spin.
isn't there, to being able to see beauty in just what is a really ordinary kind of space and scene.
And I think with stuff like that, you really have to immerse yourself within that space, within the setting that you are, really.
Especially in our industry as well, like you know, working in the wedding industry. Weddings are very visual.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's very obvious to see where there's a beautiful frame.
Yes.
But when you look at something like that, it just makes you reset and just go, hold on a second, there's actually beautiful frames everywhere in every corner of the room.
Yeah.
It's not always the obvious stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a guy walking through what is like a plastic sheeted
sort of like
doorway,
a butcher,
isn't it?
sort of
Butcher's
thing.
door, you know, and it's just his hand. It's beautiful. Yeah. No, great work. I'm looking forward to adding that to my feed.
Yeah. She's absolutely incredible. I just feel so inspired, and again, it's just looking at different things that might change your work or your way of working with it.
Just seeing things.
Yeah. And I will try it again. I definitely will try it again. Because it's just a beautiful way of presenting your work
and it all ties into that, you know, that constant message that we've always tried to put out, is that the work, you know, what you consume starts to affect you over time, and it's just about recognizing that and leaning into it, and just having that opinion on it, and just being able to look at it and go, wow, that's beautiful, but why am I drawn to it? And I think that kind of, the point that you just made then as well, kind of leads us on to our next name on the list, which is Troy Brown. And this is somebody that we only started following recently, but both of us were like, what the hell? This is just
if you check
visually
out
insane.
If you check out Troy Brown on Instagram, Troy, so this is Troy, Brown, Brone, and you'll see that his work is just literally hits you in the face from the get-go. It's like
very distinctive, very unique, very striking.
The color palette is very much sort of like CMYK-ish.
Very much so. Plays around a lot with sort of perspective, doesn't it? And not perspective, like
collages.
What's the word for it when it's?
It is perspective. I know what you mean, because
proportions. There we go. It was right. Thank you, Igor. It was right on the tip of my tongue. It was bugging me. That was.
You really got that one.
And it stops you in your tracks, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's a clear visual language again. And when you see stuff like that, you just feel tempted to or inspired to really create. And here we go. It just literally shows how he actually produces them and just literally blows them up. And it's absolutely incredible. So Troy is definitely someone that you should definitely check out.
Yeah, definitely intrigues us, doesn't he?
Yeah, and actually he's definitely someone I would love to have on the pod.
Yeah, absolutely.
In some type of format. Yeah, we'll see how we can.
I suppose kind of like Manaris. How do you feel that's influenced or inspires you? Is it just one of those that you almost can't put your finger on why? It just makes you feel something, makes you I don't know, just
first of all, creatively it does inspire me. I just want to buy one of his prints and literally just hang it up, literally, because it's got that sort of essence to it. It feels like real art. Secondly, it's the consistency. Again, he's got that visual language that you look at it and you're like, yep, I get it.
It's incredibly distinctive.
I love that about him. So yeah, if you haven't checked out his work, please do. And yeah, it's quite comic in some ways. You got a great playfulness.
It's one of those things that if you try to describe it to somebody, it would sound really messed up and like it shouldn't work.
Yeah,
but it just totally does work.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd love a piece like that. I'd love a piece like that on the wall at home.
Yeah.
Or in the office if he's listening. He wants to donate. Brilliant. That's amazing. Great shout. Next up, and we're going back to YouTube, and this is one that a couple of guys that I've been watching for a little while that it's one of the very few channels that I actually go back to just watch over and over.
You don't watch many?
No, I don't. I'm not a massive YouTuber, but this is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
And it is Top Jaw.
Woohoo.
So it is Will and Jesse who run a kind of a food blog, YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And they just tour cities around Europe or the world, and they do Zai's text you. She just sent you a photo. Look, oh, that's cute.
It's probably going to be her and Zara.
Yeah, and yeah, they'll do 24 or 48 hours in a city. So it might be Belfast, it might be Barcelona, it might be Dubai, all over. And I'm just, I suppose, again, there's quite a few parallels between a few other people we've talked about. Like, I feel like that connection. Watching them, that I'm just there with those guys in the city, eating the food, drinking the drink. The other things that I take away from them that make them part of this list for me, in terms of how they inspire me, is just the production value and the way they edit and they bring their videos and their films together. You know, I know it feels like you could just watch it on Channel 4. It'd be amazing. Yeah. And everybody be raving about it, but they're not. They're just doing their own thing on YouTube and growing really well, turning up consistently. So yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. If we saw them literally somewhere on a big channel, UK
they've definitely
channel.
They've definitely got the personality for it.
Yeah. Definitely. And it's one of the things that I've actually started seeing quite a lot recently, really. Quite a lot of, especially in the UK. In the US, we see it happen, but in the UK, it's just been refreshing to see. Sometimes, hotel room, just flicking through it, I'm like, he's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Muya as well. He's literally just appearing on sort of like national TV, and it's just great to see that.
The Brits representing.
Yes, and just coming across really well. So, yeah, I love that. Really, really love that, and I can see why you love Top Jaw.
It's one of the things I could binge every episode. Yeah, quite easily. Yeah. So yeah, Top Jaw. Yeah, go and check them out. Let us know what you think. Great edits. Yeah, just the films, just like they just hold your attention really well. Yeah. I just think it's a brilliant channel, and absolutely respect what they're doing. I think it's great. Amazing. A lot of time for them. Next. Okay. A girl called Sarah Akwesombe. It's not right to say girl, woman. Yeah. Sarah Akwesombe. So Sarah kind of came on my radar a couple of years ago, actually. She had a book out about money, and she was just a bit of a breath of fresh air. Just had this different approach and mindset towards, I suppose females in careers, but also how money affects us and our approach to it, and how our mindset is set from a very early age. But she's become far more than that, and much more than that. And
proper entrepreneur, isn't she?
Yeah. And the reason she's on the list, and the reason that she inspires me, I suppose, creatively, is because she's just diversified and just keeps making alterations to her business. I don't know. I suppose we're all in this kind of belief system that you have to just get into your industry and just stick with it and go for it. But actually, people that do business really well are constantly adapting and adjusting. And she's, launched a fashion brand, a streetwear fashion brand. She's done business mentoring, coaching. She's released a best-selling book. And it's just really interesting to see like where it's going to go next and what she'll do. But again, she just speaks the truth. Yeah. Like everything, like, the real stuff that she puts out. There's no kind of, fluffing it, or I can't say this or I shouldn't say that. It's like, kind of, I suppose, like you said with Gary Vee, it's like, if you don't agree with her or believe what she says, then that's fine. Don't have to follow it. But, I connect with a lot of what she says and her belief systems, and I think it's great. I think we all need more of that sometimes.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. My takeaway from this is another idea, apparel. Here we come.
I mean, it's just a great idea. Another garment.
Another garment.
So yeah, go and check her out, Sarah Akwesombe.
Yeah.
So it's Sarah and then Akwisombe, and you're looking at the screen again, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. I think this is one of those episodes that we're just going to have to, fumble through and hope that we can piece something together in the end.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks out of focus to me, but if you're watching on YouTube, apologies. This isn't the normal standard. We've just thrown something in the mix, and I don't think we've quite got it right. But anyway, It is what it is.
We'll let it.
Final one, and it's a bit of a curveball.
Yes. You brought this one in, and I was like, yeah.
Well, we got to 9, didn't we? And we were all four of us in the office were struggling to kind of come up with a 10th one. And I think I just said, are there any brands out there that are inspiring us? And this is quite a recent one. It's from a brand that I would say I've always noticed and been aware of, and I've always admired what they do. But actually, something happened last week. And I'll let you take it on. That kind of just inspired us and just got our attention, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm passing it to you because you can pronounce his name. Yvonne Chouinard.
Oh, you see, you actually did it better than me. We actually had to Google it. I
think it's Yvonne, yeah.
Yeah.
Yvonne Chouinard, and he is the CEO of
Patagonia. Patagonia is such a prolific brand in terms of like adventure wear, and they've been on for years. Good amount of years, haven't they?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
And the CEO decided to donate the proceeds, all the profits. Is that correct?
The entire company has been donated to its one stakeholder now, which is Planet Earth.
Yeah, which is incredible. Literally to green.
Yeah.
What? Green.
And
how do I say it? Into improving the planet. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So literally all the profits
are given back to, creating a more sustainable
planet. That's it.
And I suppose it got our attention. Well, I mean, it got everybody's attention, didn't it? It was trending that day trending for a few days, I think. And I suppose it made the list because it's the trickle down effect, isn't it, of that decision?
Yeah.
That inspired us. It's a bold move anyway.
Yeah, it's really leading by example, like showing everyone this is how you do it and how you do business well, in terms of like, if we're not taking care of our planet, hey guys, what are we doing really? Yes, you can afford it and everything else, but again, it just puts your money where your mouth is, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose it got us thinking, didn't it, just about how other businesses can and should behave, and how we should all be a bit more aware and conscious of our footprint and behaviours in business. And hopefully, I mean, I can't imagine there are going to be any of the businesses that follow that trend of just going, all out,
100%.
But the statement that he made, you would hope, just makes directors and CEOs and other businesses look at themselves and go, hold on, okay, well, we can't quite do that, but actually what we should do is be a bit more aware.
I think it really, really will do that. And as you said, in terms of the trickling down effect, smaller companies, even projects like what we're doing, will make us start thinking about, hey, maybe we should start thinking about this and that, and seeing how we can actually be more sustainable friendly.
It's just putting it into everyone's mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's massively inspiring. If that isn't inspiring, then
And again, it just opens the conversation, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. A great list. Great list of 10,
really
10
good.
people, businesses,
quite
names.
varied.
Very much so. I'm intrigued to know how many people follow those ones, and also to find out who you'd put on your list.
Yeah. Who would be the sort of like 10 creatives or 10 people that are inspiring you creatively or business-wise, in order to push you in your business further, really?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, that would be really good.
And share it, shout out, and if you're following somebody and you love what they're doing, give them a shout out. I think more people need to shout out smaller businesses anyway.
Yeah.
Just like support those brands and businesses they're out there doing good work, trying hard, putting out good content, inspiring people.
Yeah.
Is it lunchtime yet, Igor?
It is.
I am starving.
I don't know if you, the audience, can see it, but I think that we just, over the last probably 2-3 minutes, we just started flagging.
Yeah.
And
I can tell because it's gone a bit quieter and we're like, okay.
We just started flagging, and I think that, yeah, let's go for lunch.
Let's go for lunch. But just to finish off, you know, again, this is part of the process. We've made changes today.
Yeah.
And we're going to learn from it. It's going to get better. We've made those changes because we want to improve.
Yeah.
And that's business, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
You've always got to be pushing yourself forward and making these changes. So
change and adapt and push.
Let's go get some grub.
Let's go.
And we'll wrap this one up, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon.
Thank you for joining us, fam, and thank you for getting into the end of the episode.
And
have a good one.